Every year, there are over 600,000 missing. Thankfully, most will turn up. Others will tragically be found dead, and some vanish without a trace. There have been some strange occurrences happening, almost a pattern, if you will. A pattern of young men getting in car accidents and then seemingly disappearing. Are these the cases of traumatic brain injury resulting from these accidents? Or is there something far more sinister at play? These are their stories. Number one, Bradley Ross. There's not a whole lot out there on this case. Born August 15th, 1979, he was 25 years old when he went missing following a car accident in Fort Wayne, Indiana on November 19th, 2004. He was driving his fiancee's 2004 Dodge Stratus, and he was supposed to be picking her up at work. He never made it. That car was later located at the corner of Coliseum Boulevard and State Boulevard in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It is unknown if Brad was driving the vehicle at the time of the accident. Witnesses stated seeing a male subject running from the vehicle. Bradley Ross is a Caucasian male, brown hair, blue eyes, his front tooth is chipped, and his left ear is pierced. Ross has a round burn scar on his wrist, a tattoo of a tribal band around his right bicep, and a surgical scar inside of his ankle. Brad is a male with brown hair, blue eyes. If you have any information of the whereabouts of Bradley Ross, you are urged to contact Fort Wayne Police Department at 260-427-1202. Number 2, 19-year-old Brandon Swanson. Brandon drove his car into a ditch on his way home after celebrating the end of the spring semester with his friends from Minnesota West Community and Technical College, Canby campus. He told his parents to pick him up as he believed Brandon was near Lind. They drove out to pick him up, however, they could not locate him. Brandon Swanson had his last phone call with his parents. According to the sources, Brandon called his parents to pick him up, where he mentioned he had driven his Chevy Lumina off the road and into a ditch from which he could not remove the car. In the phone call, Brandon was not hurt and asked them to come where he was. But shortly after 2:30 a.m., after 47 minutes on the call, Brandon suddenly stopped himself on the phone and said, "Oh shit," after which he has not been in contact with anyone since. Brandon Swanson is 5'5", a Caucasian male, brown hair, blue eyes, last seen in Canby, Minnesota. His car was located near Taunton, Minnesota. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Brandon Swanson, you are urged to call Lincoln County Sheriff's Department at 1507-694-1664 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That is 1-800-843-5678. Number 3, Shane Fell. Missing from Marrero, Louisiana, Shane is a Caucasian male. He was born October 9th, 1974, so he was 36 years old at the time of his disappearance. He would be 47 years old today. His height is approximately 6 foot to 6'2", between 190 and 210 pounds. Shane has blonde hair and hazel eyes. On June 10th, 2011, he was driving his car on River Road between Marrero Road and Klein Road when he lost control of his vehicle, flipped it, and landed in a small ditch. Fell was able to climb out the passenger window, and he answered a cellular phone call from his brother shortly thereafter. During the conversation, he sounded alert and coherent. His brother and the police arrived at the scene of the accident within 20 minutes, but by then, Fell was gone. Leaving one of his shoes behind, he has never been heard from again. Fell studied jewelry and metalwork at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. He lived in Harvey, Louisiana, and was employed as a senior technical advisory for Verifone at the time of his disappearance. His family believes he might have suffered memory loss and tried to return to the Savannah, Georgia area, where he had lived for several years before coming back to his home state of Louisiana. The circumstances of his disappearance are unclear. He may have no memory as to who he is. He may be even living on the streets today. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Shane Fell, you are asked to call the JPSO at 504-354-5300 or Brett at 504-382-1334. Number 4. Brandon Lawson. On August 8, 2013, Brandon Lawson arrived at his home in San Angelo, Texas, where he lived with his girlfriend of 10 years, LaDessa Lofton. Between approximately 10:45 and 11 p.m., Lawson and Lofton argued. Lawson had not returned home from the night before, and Lofton believed that Lawson was on drugs at the time. Lawson had an ongoing issue with substance abuse, but had been clean for about 6 months. Lawson's brother Kyle Lawson later claimed that Brandon had taken methamphetamines shortly before his disappearance. Around 11:30 p.m., Brandon Lawson called his father in Crowley, Texas, about a 3-hour drive from San Angelo, and told him he was coming to his house. At 11:54 p.m., Lawson left his house to go to his father's, driving his silver Ford F-150. At about 12:30 a.m. on August 9th, Lawson called Kyle and told him he had run out of gas and was pulled over on U.S. Route 277 between San Angelo and Bront, Texas. Kyle claimed that during the call, Lawson told him that 3 expletives are chasing me out of town, and later clarified it was the Mexicans in the neighborhood. Kyle asked if he was hallucinating, which Lawson denied. Kyle, along with his wife and 4-year-old child, drove to Lofton's house and retrieved a fuel container. Kyle said they continued to make calls to each other, but Lawson wouldn't hold a conversation with him, usually ending the call after a few sentences. At 12:50 a.m., Lawson called 911, which rang at the local nursing home in Robert Lee, Texas, and he told the responder that he had ran out of gas and he needed the police. During the call, Lawson made several confused or incoherent statements, including, "Yes, I'm in the middle of a field. Pulled some guys over. Right here going towards Alabine on both sides, and my truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. The guy's chasing to the woods. Please hurry." Several minutes later at 12:56 a.m., a trucker called 911 to report Lawson's truck, which was parked in a hazardous manner on the road. Between 12:50 a.m. and 1:15 a.m., Lawson received and made several calls with his brother, his girlfriend, his neighbor, and the 911 dispatcher. Though his poor cell phone reception caused several of these calls to go straight to voicemail, and after 1:19 a.m., all calls to his phone went straight to voicemail. At around 1:18 a.m., Kyle called Lawson, who sounded out of breath and claimed he was bleeding. Shortly after 1 a.m., a sheriff deputy arrived at Lawson's truck, though Lawson wasn't there. Kyle arrived at the truck around 1:10 a.m. At the time, he was on the phone with Lawson, who told him, "I can see you. I'm right here." But neither the deputy nor Kyle could see him. At the time of his disappearance, Lawson had an active arrest warrant on him, and Kyle thought that he may have been just hiding from the deputy. After talking to the officer, Kyle drove a short distance up the road and parked the car to wait for Lawson to appear. Though after about 30 to 45 minutes he left. Kyle left the gas can in the back of Lawson's truck and later returned to the truck around 5 a.m., where he was surprised that Lawson had not returned. Around 8 a.m., the truck was towed, and no one has heard from him since. In the aftermath of his disappearance, a local deputy organized a search party and spent several hours investigating the area near Lawson's truck, but found no signs of Lawson. On February 4th, 2022, Brandon's family reported on the Help Find Brandon Lawson's Facebook page that a search party had located clothing identified as Brandon's near his last known location, and that the Texas Rangers had subsequently conducted a search of the area and found human remains. DNA results are not complete as of February 4th, 2022, but the remains are expected to belong to Brandon. Brandon Lawson left behind 3 children. If you have any information on Brandon Lawson's case, please contact the Coke County Sheriff's Office at 325-453-2717 or the Texas Department of Public Safety at 512-424-5074, case number M1308005. I will finish this off with the 911 call that came the night that Brandon Lawson disappeared.
9/2013, 0:50 and 38 seconds.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing some guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. Got taken to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay, now run that by me.
I'm not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello? Hello? Hello?
9/2013, 0:50 and 38 seconds.
911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing some guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here that got taken to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay, now run that by me.
We're not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Hello?
Brandon was 26 at the time of his disappearance in 2013. He is a Caucasian male, 5'9", 230 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, pierced ears, scar above left knee and chin, multiple tattoos, and last seen on Highway 227 near Bront, Texas. Brandon Lawson disappeared August 9th, 2013 out of Texas, and that brings us to our next missing case.